Good morning, everyone. Myself Mohit Bansal, and today we are going to start first chapter of the physics of 12th class, that is electrostatics. Electrostatics, that is chapter 1. In this chapter we are going to cover up first few topics. The first topic is Coulomb's law. According to this law, the electrostatic force of interaction between 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of their charges and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Let us consider we have 2 point charges. First one charge at point A, that is Q1, and a second charge is at point B, that is Q2. These two charges are separated by a distance r. Then according to Coulomb's law, F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2, first equation. F is inversely proportional to R square, that is second equation. Combining these two, we will get F directly proportional to Q1, Q2 divided by R square. On removing the proportionality, we will get a constant, that is K Q1, Q2 divided by R square, where K is the electrostatic force constant. Electrostatic force constant, its value depend on the medium in which charges are placed and on the system of unit chosen. In CGS system, in CGS system If charges are placed in vacuum, then k equal to 1. But in SI system, k equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into में 10 की पावर 9 न्यूटन कूलम्ब इनवर्स स्क्वायर मीटर स्क्वायर. This is the value of k, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 9 into में 10 की power 9 Newton Coulomb inverse square meter square, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, and the value of epsilon naught is 8.85 into में 10 की power -12 Newton inverse meter inverse square Coulomb square. This is the value of epsilon naught, that is permittivity of free space. Now we are going to start our new topic, next topic, that is superposition principle, or force on a charged particle due to a number of charges. Force on a charged particle due to a number of charges, that is superposition principle. Superposition principle. According to this law, the total force on a charged particle due to a number of charged particles is equal to the vector sum of the forces on that charged particle due to these charged particles taken one at a time, taken one at a time, which means the force due to individual charges are unaffected by the presence or absence of other charged particles. Other charged particles. Consider a coordinate system. O, X, Y, Z. We can consider as many as charge particle, but for the simplicity, we will consider few charge particles. Let us consider Q naught is the test charge. Q naught is the test charge on which we will observe the forces due to various charge particle. Q naught is the charge particle which is at position vector R naught. Next, we will consider another charge particle Q1 charge particle, Q2 charge particle, and Q3 charge particles. These are at respective position vectors R1, R2, and R3 as shown in figure. Now, this Q1 charge particle will exert a force on Q0 charge particle as shown this. The direction will be this direction and the representation is F01 vector. Similarly, Q2 charge particle will exert a force on Q0 charge particle in this direction, that will be F02 vector. Similarly, Q3 will be exert a force on this charge particle in this direction, that is F03 vector. What are these displacement vectors? From Q1 to Q0, this is R1 naught vector. R1 naught vector. Similarly, this will be R2 naught vector, and this will be R3 naught vector. Now, according to this law, the total force F naught will be equal to vector sum of all these forces, that is F naught equal to F naught 1, F naught 2 plus F naught 3, where F naught 1 is the force on charge Q naught due to Q1. Similarly, F naught 2 is the force on charge Q naught due to Q2. F naught 3 is the force on charge Q naught due to Q3. Now, according to Coulomb's law, what is F naught? F naught 1 is equal to, we know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q naught divided by R1 naught का square R1 naught cap, where R1 naught is the unit vector, where R1 naught cap is unit vector, giving the direction of force. direction of force. Similarly, F naught 2 is the force 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q2 q naught divided by r2 naught का square r2 naught cap. Similarly, F naught 3 will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q3 q naught divided by r3 naught का square r3 naught cap. Combining these three forces, we will get total force F naught equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common in all these three forces. We will take this one common, writing remaining the terms, that is q1 q naught divided by r1 naught का square r1 naught cap plus q2 q naught divided by r2 naught का square r2 naught cap plus q3 q naught divided by r3 naught का square r3 naught cap. We will observe that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is common. Q naught is common in this one. We are watching this q1 q2 q3 as on as many as we have taken the charges, the number of charges here will increase. So we will write in the short form, in the summation form. How we will write this? Let us write this q1 q2 and q3. So we will write qi q naught divided by r1 r1 naught r2 naught r3 naught. Here also numbering is increasing, so that's why ri naught square ri naught cap, and we will write here a summation I running from 1 to n. This is the total force exerting on these three charged particles on the single charge particle q naught. We can write the superposition formula for as many as charged particle you want to do. So now we are moving toward our next topic, that is electric field. What is electric field? Electric field is defined as the three-dimensional space around a charged particle up to which it can exert the force of attraction or repulsion on another charged particle. For explaining this, let us consider we have a charged particle at origin O. This is capital Q, and this will be treated as source charge. Now another charged particle, that is Q naught. This is test charge. placed at point P at a stable distance from the source charge. We will observe that according to Coulomb's law, there will be force of interaction between these two charged particles, and we know that the force between two charged particles is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. As we move this test charge away from this source charge, the force of interaction will decreases. At a certain point, this force will become negligible. Let us consider we will move this point charge from P to a certain point S. At this point, the force of interaction between these two charged particles become negligible. Similarly, we can find this type of point on the left hand side of the Q, right hand side of the Q, below the charge, above the charge, above the plane of paper, and below the plane of paper, which means we will find out a three-dimensional sphere around this charged particle up to which it can exert its influence. That sphere is known as sphere of influence, and that sphere is known as the space up to which it can exert its force, that is known as electric field. So from this diagram we observe that electric field has spherical symmetry in nature for a charged particle. E equal to F by Q naught. E is equal to F by Q naught. Our next topic is electric field due to a point charge. Consider a source charge plus Q is present at O. We have to calculate the electric field intensity at point P. So to observe the electric field intensity at point P, we have to take a test charge Q naught, small test charge Q naught, placed at point P at a distance R naught. The two charges are of same polarity, so that's why the force will be repulsive, and it is represented along this direction. So what will be the force according to Coulomb's law? F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught divided by R naught का square, R naught cap, where R naught cap is the unit vector from Q to Q naught. Then E equal to F by Q naught is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R naught square, R naught cap. You can represent the electric field due to a point charge in the vector form. For this, let us consider our source charge is not at the origin, it is at some place in the coordinate system OX, Y, Z. Let this charge is at point A. At position vector, consider Ri. We have to calculate the electric field intensity at point P. So to calculate the electric field at point E, we will consider a small test charge placed at point P, which is at distance at position vector r naught. The displacement vector will be along AP, and it is ri naught vector, and the force is represented along this direction because of same polarity. Then F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divide by r I naught का square r I naught cap. You can represent it in another form also, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divide by r I naught cube r I naught vector, because r I naught cap is equal to r I naught vector divided by r I naught vector its mode. So we can represent this another form, F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught divided by r naught vector minus r I vector its mode and its power cube r naught minus r I vector. You can represent in this form. So E equal to F by q naught, and it will comes out to be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r naught vector minus r I vector taking its mode and its power 3, and comes out to be r naught minus r I vector. This is the electric field in the vector form due to a point charge. Now we are moving towards our next topic, that is electric field lines. What are electric field lines? Electric field lines are the path, straight or curved, in the electric field at every point of which the tangent gives the direction of electric field. Which means if we draw electric field lines, the tangent will be give the direction of electric field. Electric field lines may be straight or may be curved. Now we are moving to our last topic, electric field lines for the positive charge, for the negative charge, and for the pair of charges. For example, for positive charge, we will observe that the electric field line due to a positive charge are always straight line which are radially outward. These are straight lines. You can draw as many lines as possible. Now, second case for negative charge. These are also straight lines, but these will be radially inward. Now for the pair of charges. Let us consider positive charge and another negative charge. We will observe that the electric field line will be from positive to negative, and this will be represented as along this direction. These are the electric field lines from positive to negative charge. Always remember, at a certain point in electric field, no two